You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our bonus episode, which comes out every Wednesday, where we discuss Married to Medicine. This is episode 2.
It was so good.
Oh my God, it was good.
I just love this show.
I do too. I really like it. It has a different feel than Housewives too, which is something I enjoy. I'm not really sure what it is about it that's different, but...
Yeah, I don't know, because you would think it's kind of set up the same way.
Yeah.
Yet, maybe it's that all of these women are intelligent. They all have jobs. They're all, you know...
That could be it, because it's not... Reality TV isn't their job.
Yes.
It's just like their secondary thing that they do. So yeah, that could be it, because a lot of these women who are housewives make that their sole job, and that's it. So yeah. So on this week's episode of Married to Medicine, Quad is having a birthday party, and she invites everyone for a night in Paris themed party.
Yes.
So to invite everyone to her party, she pulls up in a Rolls Royce via Quad Air with her flight attendants to go up to the door and give them their invitations.
Yeah, a little over the top, but that's kind of Quad, so...
Yeah, I know.
It was funny.
Quad's kind of hoping, though, that by inviting everyone to the party, that she can move forward with everybody, even though she's still upset about what happened in Napa last season.
Right. It's interesting because I thought she was having issues with Simone about the whole thing at the reunion.
Yeah.
But Toya says, no, I talked to her, and she still feels a certain way about Napa. Mm-hmm. And Simone was like, well, if she wants an apology about Napa, she's not getting one. So we'll see how that goes, but...
Yeah, I think sometimes Simone starts out tough, and then, like, once you're standing in front of her and then she sees Quad, then she kind of, like, can...
Caves?
Yeah, a little bit. So everyone shows up to the party, and they find out that Quad's boyfriend, King, threw the party for her. And everybody's kind of looking around like, oh, Quad has a boyfriend. Can we pick him out? Like, can we find him? Where is he? So they start asking all these men at the party.
Are you King?
Are you Quad's boyfriend?
King? King? You?
Simone says that this kind of proves her point that they only see Quad when filming, and that King has been her boyfriend for a year.
Yeah.
And she says that Quad is disingenuous. Do you think that this is disingenuous, or are you like, nah?
Well, I do think that Simone owes Quad an apology. I understand her point here, because this would mean that he was your boyfriend at the reunion.
Oh.
You know, not even you were starting to date. He was your boyfriend and nobody knew. And so that's her whole point. You don't share anything with us. You film with us. You act like you want to be best friends. And then when we're not filming, the rest of us still talk and see each other, and you just disappear. So, you know, that's not a friendship that Simone wants to have.
Yeah, I can understand that too, especially because she is close with all the other women. So I get where that would feel disingenuous too. It's not like they all do that, where it's like, okay, we're done filming, see you next year, and that's it. They don't do that. So I do get Simone's point.
Yeah.
Next, we jump to a scene with the men who all meet up since the women are at Quad's party. And Dr. G mentions that his wife wasn't invited, but he's glad Quad has a boyfriend and has finally moved on.
Let me just stop you there, because we both looked at each other like, is he serious?
I know, right? Just like that, the thought that Quad would be so hung up on him specifically too is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Like, okay, like I think she was over you while she was still married to you. Like, I think she's moved on a long time ago. So in this moment, the hero, Eugene, says, why does a woman need a boyfriend to prove she's moved on? Thank you. Thank you, Eugene.
Oh, my gosh. I stood up and gave him a standing ovation and clapped. I'm like,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was so archaic on Dr. G's part
Right.
to think that women, you know why? It's because he can't move on without a woman. Men can be so needy that they need a woman replacement immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas women don't do that. We don't need someone right away. We don't need someone ever sometimes. It's just somebody to like get things from higher shelves, you know? Like we'll be fine.
Right.
So to suggest that she somehow hasn't moved on because she didn't have a boyfriend right away, ugh, God.
I know.
Thank you, Eugene.
And Eugene wasn't even good with Quad for the longest time either, too.
Right?
So the fact that it was him who spoke up first, I was just like,
Well, you know who else stuck up for her?
yes, even Curtis co-signed this, saying that he thinks Quad was happy and moved on ages ago. Like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that must mean that you are so, like, in left field that even the men are like,
Even
you're
Curtis.
delusional. Yeah, that you are delusional. We go back to the party, and Quad's boyfriend is revealed. He is a very handsome guy.
Oh my gosh, he's
Oh
dreamy.
my God.
Yeah. That was a whoa moment. Like, okay.
So his last name is King, but that's what he goes by. And all the women are impressed.
Yes.
So then we cut to a confessional of Toya, and she's talking as if Quad was talking to Sweet Tea regarding their men, saying, "You can have Metamucil. I got Flintstone Kid over here."
Oh my God. Because Dr. G is pushing 50,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
or maybe
yeah.
he's 54 or something. I'm not really sure. We probably should have looked that up.
Well, I'm trying to remember if we've seen a 50th birthday party for him on the show or not.
Well, I just laughed because the thought that she's referring to him as Metamucil
Oh my God.
and
I
then
know.
her new young boyfriend as Flintstone Kid, because I don't know, Grace, you're not in that bracket, but I was a Flintstones kid.
You get me Flintstone vitamins.
Really?
Yes. 100%. I remember him.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
you
'Cause
did.
as a kid, I used to get Flintstones vitamins too. So this just like rang true. Oh my God, I thought it was so funny.
So after we get that super funny confessional with Toya, and I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. She's so funny. I haven't seen her much in the first episode, so it's like, oh, that's hilarious. Then Toya says something super stupid and says that Sweet Tea wasn't invited and compares it to Napa. And I'm like, Toya, this is so dumb. If that's the case, then why isn't everyone apologizing to Quad?
That was literally the first thing I thought of. You guys sent Quad home and didn't want her to continue on the rest of the trip, but you're saying Quad not inviting Sweet Tea is the same thing. Why would you want to do that? Well, if that's so awful, why aren't you all apologizing to her?
Yeah. It didn't make sense to me either.
I don't actually think it's the same thing.
I totally don't think it's the
Okay.
same thing at all.
I don't either, but if you did, then say, hey, you know what? I feel bad for Sweet Tea, and now it made me think how badly you must have felt. So
There you go.
Hey, really sorry.
Well, and it isn't the same thing either because Quad didn't invite Sweet Tea at all. Quad was there on the Napa trip
Right.
and you kicked her out.
Right.
It wasn't even like Sweet Tea came and Quad was like, get out of my party.
Mm-hmm.
So there it's different. And also, this is such a real life scenario, like on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, oh, you're fighting with this person, so I didn't invite you. This is her ex-husband's new wife.
Thank you.
Why on earth would Quad invite her to anything? And vice versa, too.
And when you're filming a show, they will film together in scenes that are group scenes other places.
Yeah.
This is Quad's personal party. They are still filming real life, and she's not invited.
No.
She would never be. So I don't expect her to be forced to invite Sweet Tea to something that's a personal party of hers just because they're filming.
Right. And that's what Jackie said, too. She had the reasonable response, which was, why would Quad invite her ex-husband's new wife?
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Jackie. Yes. I mean, I don't think that it was absolutely necessary to invite her.
No. I don't even think she would have wanted to go. I think she would have wanted to been invited so that she could say she wasn't going, which would have been me. Oh, thank you for the invite. I politely decline.
Right, exactly. Well, overall, I think this party went really well with all the women. I think it landed well with Quad introducing her boyfriend to all the women. Simone feels like Quad doing that was a step in the right direction, and she just needs consistency. I think that's fair.
I absolutely think it's fair. It's really a sticking point with Simone and her friendships. She wants consistency. If you're there during filming, you need to be there after filming.
Yeah. We go back to the last scene of the episode, which is with the men, and I found it hilarious that the men are all like, oh my God, I think the women are going to get into a fight, you know, they're going to this, that, and whatever, which actually didn't happen.
No.
And then it happened. The drama was all with you guys,
I know.
literally. And Dr. G brings up this stuff Heavenly has said about him, and Damon calls him sensitive.
I don't know that I think that's fair. I mean, I am so pro Dr. Damon and so anti Dr. G.
Yeah.
However, what Heavenly said was awful.
Yeah, it
Like,
was not
Bravo
good.
kept blurring out the word,
Yes.
but I saw the word when she tweeted it.
Yeah.
It was pedophile.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know. That's so stupid. I mean, that's a literal crime.
Yeah.
And I think she's just referring to the fact that Sweet Tea is so much younger than him.
Oh, do you think so?
I think that's what she's referring
Oh.
to, which it doesn't make
still
sense.
in poor taste.
It very much is. And Sweet Tea's like 32 or whatever. I mean, it's like she's a grown woman.
Right.
But I think that's what she's referencing.
Okay, you know what? That didn't even cross my mind, but still
Not
poor taste,
yes,
still
yeah.
tacky, but okay. Huh. Well, I don't know that I would call him sensitive. I think the thing is Damon is so soft-spoken and takes things so well that not everybody does that,
Yeah.
you know? And so he might not have reacted to it. But is it fair to say that someone's being sensitive when your wife calls them an abuser and a pedophile?
I mean, it's really kind of like a no-win situation when somebody calls you sensitive, because you either say nothing and then it's like, okay, well, you look sensitive because you're not saying anything, so you're mad. And then you either get really angry and upset, and that's like, whoa, wow, you have a big reaction. You're really sensitive to that. It doesn't work. That's why it's such a horrible, like, insult almost, because you can't win when you're being called
I'll have
that.
to remember that. Yeah, I don't know that it's fair. I don't like Dr. G much, but I think attacking his reputation, how he is with clients and stuff, you can't throw out words like that and not feel like there's going to be some blowback.
I know, and it's like Dr. Damon was pissed that he was being accused of cheating or saying that he did, and that Greg didn't say anything. It's like, well, now it's your turn to be like, no, I don't think you're a pedophile.
Right.
You know, I think that's the least he could do.
I would agree. Instead of calling him sensitive, say, no, you're not a pedophile.
Well, you want to know the level of delusion, though, too, is that he said that Heavenly gets along with everybody, which was like...
They all laughed.
Like, what? Are we talking about the same woman? Are we all hearing this?
I think Eugene said she has the potential to get along.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that Heavenly does herself any favors when she tweets stuff out like that. And I don't know, should the women stop bringing the men into their drama? Because when they do that, it kind of gives the men an opening to respond back.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't help but notice we're on season 11, and the men have always gotten along. Mm-hmm. Even when the women are at their worst, they've all stayed out of it. And the second Heavenly brought Dr. G's name up, now they're having problems.
Yeah, because now Damon would refer patients to him and he's like not
Yeah.
interested. That's not good.
No, that's not good at all. And so you got to keep your women drama to yourselves. You
Yeah.
can't be dragging the men in. It's not fair. And they've lasted this long. Just, don't do that. It's already happening on Salt Lake City.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
kind of ruining that too, where all the men are getting involved now. This is a show about women. I mean, Married to Medicine's a little different because it is about couples, but the men have always managed to stay reasonable and know that when their women fight, it's their fight, not ours.
In the sneak peek for next week, we see Apollo tell Phaedra.
Apollo?
Yeah, I know, Apollo. I'm like, okay. I'm like, when did he start becoming
I know. This is actually why I'm glad Phaedra's leaving.
Oh, she is. She's going back to Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay.
And
good.
I like Phaedra.
Oh, yeah.
But-
I like Phaedra, too. Just not in this
Right.
setting. I think
But
Housewives.
we don't need to see Apollo.
God, yeah, I know. Who thought that was a good idea? So anyway, we see Apollo tell Phaedra. Toya asked him about his marriage and the cheating rumors.
Toya
the
is
hell?
hilarious to me. She just comes right out and says shit that, you're thinking, but no one would ever say because they have manners.
I know. I'm like, I can't believe she would ask.
You don't know him like that.
So we'll see that next week. And then also, Sweet Tea, Contessa, and Phaedra all kind of invite everyone on a girls' trip. It seems like it's going to be Western, like Dude Ranch type theme.
Oh, God. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be good.
Thanks for listening to our bonus episode of Married to Medicine. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky at Niceish Podcast or at Love Cindy C. You can listen to Niceish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Wednesday. Thank you for listening and have a Niceish day.